It is a great night for basketball here at the Don Dome at Spanish Fork High School, where the Salem Hills Skyhawks will face the Spanish Fork Dons. We want to thank those who are sponsors with us tonight, MVP Sports and the Car Guys. Greetings to you. I am Alan Huff, along with a familiar voice, a familiar face, Mike Mendenhall. It's been a few years since you've done a basketball game. You've been busy in other city endeavors, and we're glad you're here with us tonight to do this rivalry game between these two teams. Packed house. What do you think?
I'd like to think that part of this packed house was for me coming back to the broadcast and folks wanting to see if, how rusty I really am. But I doubt anybody is here for any reason but to see a good matchup between two local schools who have become pretty good rivals in our community. And you're right, Alan, there is no room in this gym, which is the way it ought to be when you have a couple good ball clubs facing off.
We do. The Spanish Fork Dons 4-2 in region play. Salem Hills has struggled a little bit, losers of 2 in a row, and they are 2-4 in region play. But we're entering the second half of the region. This is going to be a crazy few weeks because nobody's pulling away from anybody.
Well, you like to see that in high school athletics, especially, is when you get some teams that start to generate some continuity between each other, start to play comfortable with each other as the season rolls on, and they start to know a little bit about the other squads as well and know how to play them a little bit better. So the learning and growing process in high school athletics is something you're going to see on display tonight, and you're seeing in this region. So kind of a fun thing to watch and definitely a good time to be a fan, and I don't think this one's going to disappoint.
The Spanish Fork Dons hopefully will be introduced on the floor shortly. I think they're having some audio difficulties. But, hey, either way, we've got a basketball game to play, and we'll see what happens.
It wouldn't quite be a game if you didn't have some kind of technical difficulty. I was here last week and saw the Los Cholitas, I believe, come out on the court, only to stand there and then exit the court.
I felt bad for them because they had all their gear ready. They had all their gear on. They were ready to go do their dance. They'd prepared. They had used their, had their makeup ready to go, and they just kind of sat there on the floor for a little bit. Didn't really work out for the Los Cholitas, but hopefully tonight that will be something different. The Dons being introduced on the floor right now. Salem Hills has been introduced, including their leading scorer, Porter Guston, along with Jeff DeGraffenried. They carry the brunt of the offense for the Salem Hills Skyhawks between DeGraffenried and Guston. Guston only had 8 points against the Dons in their first meeting. And with signing day coming up on Tuesday, when he's expected to announce where he's going to play college football, I wonder if there's going to be a little bit of a, lack of focus tonight due to all the attention that he's been receiving lately.
Yeah, you could definitely see that. He is one of those athletes that comes along in a community that turns heads. You can just walk in a gym and kind of stand on the baseline while they're warming up and realize that guy eats his Wheaties, drinks his milk, and it does a body good.
Yeah.
He is no slouch in the gym either. He works hard at it, so well deserving of what seems like an athlete that's going to go beyond high school for sure.
Yeah, for certain that. Quite possibly even further. Neil Davis, the starter for Salem Hills, along with Porter Guston, Jeff DeGraffenried. Guston just battles down low and scores at will. Jeff DeGraffenried, along with, I believe, Trevor Gasser on the floor. No, excuse me, I'm getting that wrong. I got some numbers mixed up. Ben DeGraffenried. Hunter Schofield answers. We're going to see this a lot tonight, Mike. Between Spanish Fork and Salem. These two teams, you're going to see the Guston versus Schofield show, and neither of them want to get into foul trouble, and it's going to be tough for the Dons to avoid that with a big body like Guston.
Yeah, that should be one of their one of their goals tonight is try to go early and often.
Oh.
Good block there.
What a block. Benson Reese up the floor, right side Taylor Anderson. Back out is a different look. You might not recognize him, but Parker Bowman has cut all of his hair off.
I was going to say, I was trying to get a little ahead of the game here, Alan, and say I think I know some of these guys, you know, being a little bit rusty and out of the game, but I've come down to watch a few games. I think he just decided to throw me a curveball there, right?
Yeah, I think so. He threw one on me. Took me a minute. Taylor Anderson to the base. Back out, get to Bowman. 3-ball for Benson Reese. Rattles off and a rebound. Fought for. They're going to call a foul underneath on Porter Gustin. Looked like maybe Connor Anderson was going to pick that one up.
Yeah, Coach DeGraff and Reed is not agreeing with that. The way that official saw it.
Jimmy DeGraff and Reed, the coach of the Skyhawks, has been the head coach since the school has existed, as Hunter Schofield scores. With it, bringing it up the floor is Neil Davis. 3-ball missed by Salem Hills, saved by Davis. To the base, shot no good by Jeff DeGraff and Reed, the Dons clear. Left side, Parker Bowman. He's going to fire away. High off the iron. No good. Rebound to Gustin. Averaging just under 10 rebounds a game, and he's averaging 20 a game for Salem Hills.
10 and 20 is his average line.
Yep.
Not a bad night of production.
Just under 10 and almost 21 per game. There he goes, hard to the rack. Lays it up and in. So Gustin 2, Schofield 2 here in the early going. There's Schofield baseline jumper, no, or rebound to the Skyhawks, James Nelson.
Not a bad shot there. I'm pretty impressed, Alan. The big guys for Spanish. They are, what we got here, a foul off the ball?
Off the ball, that foul will go against Nelson, I believe. Oh, never mind, 20 Bean DeGraff and Reed.
Pretty athletic big men for Spanish Fork this year. As many as you can use down low and get them to make a good, solid move to the hoop. That's one thing, but pretty decent knockdown shooters from that mid-range.
Short by Anderson. Here come the Skyhawks across the midcourt line. Waiting for offenses to pick up here early between these two teams. The ball lost. A foul could have been called by Bowman. He gets a steal, loses it out of bounds.
Yeah.
So Salem Hills will inbound. 4:46 remaining in the 4-4 game here in the first quarter. On Spanish Fork 17, we want to thank MVP Sports for sponsoring tonight's MVP of the game. 72 North Main, a shot up, no bucket, but a foul. At MVP Sports. Could give them a phone call, 798-3587, if you're looking for anything in particular and are inquisitive on what is in inventory.
Do you have the black and blue camouflage basketball shorts available?
We can order them. In fact, we did. We actually did. We ordered all of these for Salem Hills.
Okay. It's a good thing it's against a red and white backdrop. I'd lose a couple kids now and then if this happened to be a blue gym for any reason.
Yeah.
It's
one of two for Neil Davis of the Skyhawks. And a foul against the Dons. They're going to call Connor Anderson.
It's one of those that you get when you're at the very top of the key, too, for a big man. And Connor Anderson, a big guy, standing up at the top of the key. And it only takes a little shift of the hip or the shoulder out to get that extra piece of the defensive player. And that's one right in front of the official.
Easy call. Davis, Jeff DeGraff and Reed loses it out of bounds to the Dons. So some turnovers arriving here between these two teams. Hunter Schofield to Benson Reese, who needs to get hot. Misses, rebound to Tobiasen. Jacks Tobiasen, he just checked in with the bucket.
Up in the middle of two Salem Hills Skyhawks there. Good job not giving up on the play, going up, getting it strong, keeping the ball up, not bringing it back down, putting it back up soft off the glass.
Beating DeGraff and Reed to Jeff. Left side, 3-ball. Jeff DeGraff and Reed. His first bucket of the game is a 3-ball, and Salem Hills with a 2-point lead.
DeGraff and Reed to DeGraff and Reed? Is that what you said, Alan?
That's right. Cousins. Underneath, Schofield trying to find position. Does score. 6 points early for Hunter.
Good job by a big man there to keep your pivot foot, not travel, but keep that pivot foot, but still step around the defender. Make a solid move close to the hoop.
3:05 remaining. Left side, Davis underneath. Jeff DeGraff and Reed kicks it to Gustin, loses it. Who does it go to? It stays with Salem Hills. So Spanish Fork big man early with all 8 points. Salem Hills getting some help elsewhere, but the Dons, they need to get those guards involved here, Mike.
Another turnover.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of them on Salem's end here early. 2:45 remaining. Benson Reese right side. Only 2 team fouls against the Dons, 3 against Salem Hills. Card Guys sponsor tonight's instant replay. 872 North Main in Spanish Fork, 794-0077. You can visit them online at thecardguysut.com. Schofield misses a 3. Schofield had 2 3-pointers the other night. The Dons win over the Springville Red Devils. Only 5 on the year, but a big night for him. A block, a jump ball called. Possession arrow to the Dons.
Surprisingly, that was seemed a little quick of a jump ball. If he gets on top of the ball and the ball comes loose and is free like that.
Yeah, I don't think he made it back to the floor. Nevertheless, the Dons in possession. Taylor Anderson left side, back to Benson. Benson, a few dribbles, looking underneath. Tobiasen.
Nice.
Jax Tobiasen with 10 points, and the Dons fans finally show up. It's been quiet in here, but they've done that before. They wait the first 6 minutes before they get loud, and then all of a sudden they have, and Salem Hills turns it over again.
Is there some trick that I'm missing with the 10th point or something? That was the 10th point for the home team, and
that's what happens.
That's what they were waiting for.
10th point, and they've done it. They did it a lot in the preseason, and I've been wondering why it's been so quiet in here tonight. And now we've kind of got an answer to that.
Yep.
And now hopefully the fans will, at least the student section will get a little louder. Got a timeout on the floor. Mike, the Dons, 10 points, all from guys that are 6'6" or bigger.
Well, I'm telling you, Alan, you and I have talked about this before, but I am thoroughly impressed at the height, not only the height that Spanish Fork has, which historically, through the decades and years, you can talk to people, has been something that Spanish Fork does not have. Once in a blue moon, you have a tall, big guy that bangs down there for Spanish Fork, and it seems like, my goodness, you look this year, we got 3, 4, and 5 sometimes, if you want them. And not only that, but they handle the ball pretty well. They can dribble. They can shoot. A pretty impressive squad that Spanish Fork can put out on the court that involves a lot of height. Now you couple that with some knockdown shooters like Benson Reese and like Mr. Money. When they get going, Spanish Fork can be a tough team that can go, I think, pretty deep into the postseason,
Yeah.
Maybe that's being a little too forward thinking there, Alan, but that's what they pay me to do.
Yeah,
forward think.
So they teach you in city council, right?
Yeah, the big bucks there. Yep.
Hunter Schofield up top. Couple dribbles, the left hand goes back out. Benson fires it over. 3-ball for Taylor Anderson on the board with a 3.
Boy, and that one looked good all the way.
Benson in midair
His hand.
made a quick decision to pass it off. Left side, shot up, no good by Davis. A fight underneath for it. The Dons with it, and Reese hammered and fouled as he came up with it. That foul go against Bean DeGraff and Reed. So a 13-8 lead for the Dons. Been back and forth for quite a while. The Dons trying to pad it up here on this possession with 1:14 to go.
Yeah, key here in the first quarter, you try to stretch your 5-point lead. Try to get a couple more possessions here in a minute. Let's see if you can't work into the second quarter with a comfortable lead.
Kicked ball.
Reset.
Tim Fleming, the kicker.
No shot clock
in
high school basketball, as evidenced by last week's news of Craig Drury retiring after this year.
Provo head coach calling it a day. And
could mean the Bulldogs actually get out of the 20s in some games, Alan. That's what it could mean.
That's for sure. Drury known for the clock wastage. Shut up and good for Schofield. 8 in the first.
Coach DeGraffenried is going to want to talk to his squad about if you're going to stay in that zone there. You're definitely going to have a guy that shows to the high post and pops out to at least get a hand in a face like Schofield.
Shot up and a hard foul by Spanish Fort. Schofield grabbing his head. I think he caught an elbow or a forearm. Going to the line will be Trevor Gasser. The Dons' next game at Wasatch on Tuesday, February 3rd. Shot missed by Gasser. The Dons are going to get one more possession. Salem just one of 3 from the free throw line early. The Dons have yet to attempt a free throw. Number 2 on the way. Missed it. Back iron. Underneath the rebound, Jason Money. So the Dons again here, Mike, can extend. Benson Reese across the midcourt line. Tanner Argyle in. Oh, ball swatted away underneath. The shot up and scored. Tim Fleming on the board. 2 seconds. Half court shot. No good by Reese.
That's a teaching moment there, Alan, especially in a zone, and when a team comes out to extend that zone, you've got to have the guys behind you making sure and yelling to that big guy, someone behind you, coming for the ball, get rid of it, transition. Quickly.
We'll take a quick break, 15-10. Spanish Fort with the lead. Back underway here at the Don Dome. 15-10 here in the second quarter. As the quarter just beginning, Spanish Fort with that lead, Mike. And Salem Hills with possession, and the Dons commit a foul here early in the second.
Another DeGraffenried kid, Caleb DeGraffenried, trying to get around the corner and got a hip check.
Now there's plenty of DeGraffenrieds to go around.
Well, I can tell you what, there was a DeGraffenried back in '98, and he was younger than we were, but Salem wasn't a school yet, and Payson was, and I watched many a basketball go over my head and down in the hoop from beyond the arc. He was a knockdown shooter.
The DeGraffenrieds were decent players. Head coach Jimmy played at Weber State. Taylor Anderson into the ball game. Benson Reese out. That'll put Tanner Argyle running the point for now, the sophomore for the Dons. Hunter Schofield will take a break for Connor Anderson. Inside, the ball on the floor. Another turnover.
You got to have an out-of-bounds play from the baseline, and it's got to be something that's pretty solid. You see Salem having trouble on the baseline tonight with just trying to toss it in there to somebody that's flashing. If you don't set a pick and then roll on a baseline play, you're asking to turn the ball over.
Taylor Anderson lays it up. Ooh, it was a nice move, but a nice tip in by Jason Money of the Dons. Dons back to a 7-point lead at 17-10. Right side, Gasser. They work it around. DeGraff and Reed to the base. Shot up. Jax Tobiasen nearly tipped it in for the Skyhawks. We have a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to the Dons. Dons with a big switch here. They're going to pull. Who? Everybody but the starters. So the Dons with all the starters on the floor right now.
That's a replay of that nice putback by Jason Money. Good drive by Taylor Anderson. Good move, holding it in one hand. Getting it down the way and just falling off the rim. Jason Money cleaning it up. I didn't see the replay of the jump ball, but the Porter Gustin thought it was a little quick. Wanted to talk to the official about it.
Over the back of Hunter Schofield is going to be.
Those are the ones, I can tell you, Alan, those are the ones, and you, as your junior Jazz coach acumen that you've had, that drives a coach nuts there. There's no advantage to going over that guy's back when he's popping at the three-point line. He's not going to turn around and shoot it quick enough.
Count it, and he's fouled. Schofield.
Speaking about quick enough, he has got a quick turnaround and release. And from the free throw line, he knocks it down, gets the foul too.
Porter Gustin hacks him for his second.
They're going to just let him go.
Too early for Porter. One shot coming for Schofield. First free throw attempt of the night for the Dons, missed. And the Dons fight for it and get it on the rebound. Bowman to the hoop, bumped, fouled. MVP Sports reminds all the baseball coaches out there, baseball season coming up, if you need to get your gear, uniforms, everything else, now's as good a time as any to take care of it. We're already dealing with a whole bunch, and we encourage you to come on in to get your baseball gear all ordered, ready to go for this upcoming season. You could probably just go ahead and start baseball right now the way the weather's doing. Bowman knocks down both. There's
not too many places in Utah, unless you're way down south, that you're supposed to be seeing the grass at all right now. I don't think you drive around town here, and the grass is thinking about, waking up.
I've heard rumors that Spanish Oaks will be open tomorrow. The golf course at the mouth of the canyon will be open. They're usually about this time of year about 2 or 3 feet under, covered in snow, but man, the Dons defense is just relentless against Salem Hills, and Gosser hits the deck along with Benson Reese. I think Benson Reese won that war.
Not sure what that one was about. He lost the ball and probably could have. He was just kind of.
Sometimes those legs get taken out in awkward positions.
Like a hockey move. But Benson Reese trying to make him pay at the line here.
With 19 fouls Salem has, the Dons are in 1-1 just for this last time. They're going to shoot 2 from now on. Spanish has only committed 4 fouls. Salem got a little slap happy here early in the second, Mike.
Yeah. Fouls have come into play, but I'm not counting them. You probably are, but I would say the Dons' 13-point spread here is strictly due to turnovers by Salem Hills. I mean, they're not getting looks at the bucket,
seems like they're just not getting hardly any shot attempts off. The Dons' defense is playing pretty well, as Connor Anderson's going to pick up another one. That might be 3 on him. Number 32, Connor Anderson. Yeah.
3
fouls.
That is
of the Dons' 5.
That, with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, that is Brent Wignall territory of 98. I can tell you that. He lives out in Lake Shore. I don't think he's watching this live.
No, he's not, but he can watch it online as Benson Reese with the turnover scores. The Dons are starting to open it up here in the second.
Well, you can see, Alan, that's the difference here. Is again, once again, Salem not even getting an attempt at the hoop. So turning over to another bucket by the Dons, and they're off running again.
Taylor Anderson all alone, scored it. Jimmy DeGraff read's seen enough. He wants a 30-second timeout.
Well, you got to have their problem there is they did get a look to it, but if you don't have a guard rotating up top while a shot's being taken from the baseline there, you're simply asking for a hard rebound off the rim and an outlet pass, and good job by Taylor Anderson leading it, running away from the competition, putting it down.
The Dons are on a 12-0 run in this quarter alone. Played of 3 minutes, 17 seconds. I'm getting a look over there, Mike. It looks like the Los Cholitas had got their gear on, the same that they had the other night for their halftime performance. Hopefully tonight the equipment's going to work for them.
Yeah, if not, I would think they could just release the song to as many folks that are in this building tonight, even half of us singing the,
See, we can all do it a cappella.
Yeah, whatever it is, that we could, it would be loud enough.
Yeah, it's an option. Oh, another turnover by Salem Hills. Schofield pull up just short of the three-point line, misses, and a rebound to Salem, and they're going to call a foul against number 15 of the Skyhawks.
There's a few calls that Jimmy DeGraff and Reed has argued. That would be one of them if I were him. I don't know what our angle is on this. You can see it right here, but that's a basketball move. A couple guys going for the ball and one of them falling down.
Two-shot foul. Dons will be going 2 shots from here on out. Parker Bowman good for the first. This is, I believe, Mike, the largest lead the Dons have had in region play all season.
Well, and I can tell you that's a healthy lead. You're working on 19 with still 4 minutes to go. But as you and I know, Alan, in basketball, that can change. Another turnover. You got to be kidding me. I should be counting these because I think we're.
3 ball by Reese. Wow.
I mean, Coach DeGraff and Reed's just got to find somebody that will not turn the ball over. You've got, arguably one of the better athletes in a decade that's down low there, and the ball, for whatever reason.
Doing an awesome job at cutting off those passing lanes. Sure. Ball lost, a bump and a foul by Spanish Fort.
No, and that's not to discredit anything the Dons are doing. They're hustling. They're out there with their hands up, arms in passing lanes, and then they're making them pay on the other end. But my goodness, you at least need to try to stop the bleeding if you're the Salem Skyhawks and get more attempts at the bucket.
Lance Argyle into the ball game for Salem Hills. Nearly another turnover. Gustin misses. Rebound Schofield. Here come the Dons. Bowman breaks the defense, misses, and a foul, a blocking foul against Salem Hills.
I'll tell you what, I love that, Alan. Spanish Fork.
They're just attacking.
Yeah, and I don't know if this has been all season long or not, but that is aggressive to just pass the ball up past half court. You got another big man that can dribble the ball with his left hand, go to the hoop like that, and cause contact.
That basket's rattling, Mike. I don't know if it's a good idea to have him shoot right now, but they might have been able to even call basket interference against Bean DeGraff, and he slapped the backboard pretty hard. Parker Bowman 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He's going to get one more. All 6 of his points from the charity stripe, and the Dons with a 24-point lead. If you'd have told me this before this game, I would have called you insane. Salem Hills fans are just silent. Ball knocked away. Reese all alone. There's no way he's missing that one. What do you do if you're Salem Hills? Shoot from out there, which Jeff DeGraff and Reed tries and misses. Excuse me, that was not Jeff, that was James Nelson. Reese, 3, no. Rebound, Schofield. Hunter, turnaround jumper, rolls off. Bowman fouled. He's going to the line for 2 more. Yeah, I at this point,
I don't know
I'm in shock.
what to tell you. I was not in Salem when Spanish Fork played weeks ago there.
Yeah.
But there's no way it was a game like this, right?
Dons had a 9-point lead, and the Dons had to peel away in the fourth quarter to do it. It was the first free throw of the game missed by Parker Bowman. Now 6 of 7. He'll get one more. The Dons have been really solid, Mike, from the free throw line this year. And with as many big men as the Dons have, you'd think, big men aren't as good with the free throw shot. The Dons have been solid all season. 27-point edge for the Dons. You call it an edge or a gap?
Yeah, that's officially a gap now.
Up and a foul, shrug off foul. 1-1 coming for Salem Hills. They'll call Parker Bowman on that one. It's his first, and Jeff DeGraffenried will go to the line for 1-1 here, Mike.
They have are hoping
Salem
from the free throw line here to get off that 10. How long have they been at 10? Now 11. And the Salem student body.
Yeah, that was, listen, Mike, that's the first point of the second quarter for Salem Hills.
Yeah.
With 2:44 remaining. Second good.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, you do. Chipping away at a lead. Man, Dons just putting on. I mean, the defense is creating all the offense for the Dons.
Yeah.
Underneath Schofield. Schofield battles hard. Count the bucket. What a man underneath Hunter Schofield. 12 points in the game.
That's a big time move right there to get the ball, one hard dribble towards the hoop. You can see that one hard dribble and then go up strong, absorbs the contact, makes a free throw. It's a big man having a big game.
40-12 is the lead for the Dons.
Oh,
there's another steal. Wow. Reese. No. Rebound. Money. Puts it up. No. Rebound to the Dons. Reese for 3.
It is going the Dons' way on both ends of the floor right here, Alan. Even when they miss, some little cupcake shots there at the
another
right
foul
there at the
against
rim.
Salem Hills, and now you're just starting to see frustration abound. That foul committed by number 25. For Salem Hills.
Yeah, you see those misses down low, but all of the Dons just crashing the boards, staying on it, being able to gather it, tip it back out to a waiting Reese.
Car Guys sponsor tonight's history play 872 North Main in Spanish Fort. Talk to Randy Brailsford, Calvin Yao. They're ready to make you a great deal on a nearly new automobile. 794-0077. You can visit them online at thecarguysut.net. I interrupted your thought, Mike. Is that thought passed?
No. It was simply just that. Just you see the Dons going up to get that board too. There were 3 Dons jumping for that ball, and that's a big difference in this ball game too, Alan. The Dons rebounding is, I'll bet, 2-1 of what Salem's registered so far.
Dons wanting to waste a little clock here. The Dons with almost 30 points, 29 points here in the second quarter.
Well, if we were going the Drury mode in honor of his last year in high school athletics, he would have run this stall when we were up 12-10.
Yeah. But give him a little bit of credit there, Mike, because he's won a couple games.
No. Everything I say that even reflects somewhat derogatory about Craig Drury is only because the jealous bone in my body of never being able to beat his teams. So he's a great coach, had great talent come through there, but it always seemed to be able to coach him up right to win a whole bunch of state tournaments too.
Right, they've got rafters full of banners over at Provo High School.
I can tell you what, there is not much more that was frustrating in high school basketball to be on the losing end of a game that Provo was winning when they were only beating you by 3 points and stalling the clock out.
Make for a decent argument of the shot clock. Jeff DeGraff and Reed, good on both. He has 7 points, half of Salem Hill's total score. Now the Dons stalling again. They want that last shot. The Dons had 49 the other night, Mike, against Springville. Schofield is just unstoppable underneath there. 2 on the clock. 1. DeGraff and Reed drains the 3.
Right at the buzzer. Going to try to use that into the locker room to garner the troops and coach him up, get his teammates fired up, because they do have a long way to try to make up the difference in the second half.
Yeah, the Dons up 29, if my calculator works correctly. 31 points in the second quarter for Spanish Fort. 46-17 the lead for the Dons as we head to the half. We'll be back in just a few minutes here on Spanish Fort 17. The Dons holding this big lead of 29 here in the third quarter. Leading scorers, Hunter Schofield with 15 for Spanish Fort. Benson Reese with 12 for Spanish Fort. Those are your 2 leading scorers all season long, doing their jobs. But Porter Guston, who's averaging 20 a game, had 4 points, and they were all in the first quarter.
Yeah, a little bit of foul trouble, but by the first couple of buckets that he got were buckets down low where he can work some magic. Again, the Dons playing the lanes.
Salem Hill's able to get back and snag it. It's Davis. Skyhawks in their half-court game. Connor Anderson against Guston. Guston puts it up, misses. Rebound Schofield. Here come the Dons.
Good solid move. Good pivot to the right. Soft touch, but just comes off the front of the rim. No need for that one there.
Bumping a foul by Neil Davis of the Skyhawks.
Fouls on number 15, Davis.
You can bet Salem's going to try to come out here aggressive early, change the tone of this game. Have the Dons think that there's some danger there.
What a pass! Bowman couldn't convert, but what a pass by Benson Reese on that one. You can see Benson's like, man, I wanted that assist.
Yeah, he should have dunked that. Yeah. Big man go up with 2 hands and just throw it down. The pass was right in stride and
just a little short on the dunk.
Yep, didn't quite have his feet under him. This coming from someone that has to stretch to be 5'10" his whole life, telling a guy just to go up and dunk it, right?
Go ahead and dunk that, and I'll sit down here close to the earth. Jump ball.
Yep.
Don's possession. Nope. Yeah, it should be Don's possession. It is. Inbound, Benson Reese. For the first time in a while, the Dons have gone a minute without scoring. Reese tries the pass. Bowman could have probably just went that in the backcourt to get that. Held it up anyway. Foul before the shot. Again, we want to thank MVP Sports for sponsoring tonight's MVP of the game. 72 North Main in Spanish Fork, 798-3587. You can visit MVP online at mvpsportsutah.com. Baseball season coming up. Get your uniforms orders ready. This is to the coaches. Now's the time to take care of it. At 72 North Main at MVP Sports. Taylor Anderson, long 3, and he drained it.
Tell you what, don't know why there was no rotation over to the top by Salem Hills, but Taylor Anderson had time to line up the seams on that ball.
Jeff DeGraff and Reed, angle left. Three ball on its way, missed. DeGraff and Reed was the only scorer for Salem Hills in the second quarter with 7 points.
Him only?
Him only. Bowman throws it away, attempting to go back to Reese, and Reese wisely commits a foul out on the perimeter.
Players getting smarter these days, Alan, fouling on breakaways. I don't know, is there a breakaway rule in high school? Can you foul at any time?
I think you can.
There's no clear path.
No, I haven't seen him really call anything. Guston for three. Short, rebound, Dons. Left side, Taylor Anderson. He might want to fire another one of those long ones up. Schofield wants one. He's fouled and going to the line. Porter Guston committing number 3.
Yeah, that was an easy call. And when you got a center from the corner that I don't know if he's hit a 3 all night. He's played well, shot the ball well, but you don't need to foul him out there in the corner. Especially when your team desperately needs you in this ball game to try to mount the comeback.
Free throw good. 50-17, the Dons have the lead. 2 of 3 for Hunter Schofield. He's got 17 points. The Dons holding a 51-17 lead at the 5:41 remaining. Guston in traffic. Lots of it. Reese reaches in and fouls.
Foul on number 4, Reese.
So for Benson, that's his second 13th foul against Spanish Fork as Porter Guston will inbound. Left corner to Davis. Nice fake, bucket good. Neil Davis, first field goal of the game. He has 3 points. Salem Hills with 4 scorers in the game. Not one in double figures yet. Oh, excuse me, Jeff DeGraffenreid does have 10, so I got to give him credit where it's due. Bowman to Tobiasen, who's just checked in for the Dons. Dons more than willing to be patient here.
Yeah, you run a little motion offense here. You try to ISO. Looked like you could do that. The big guys get it down low, but just off the right hand of big number 35, Alan. What's his name?
Tobiasen, Jax Tobiasen. Had 4 points in the first quarter off the bench for the Dons. He's been silent since. Hasn't seen a lot of court time, though. Porter Guston. Top right, back left to Neil Davis. Working the perimeter. Bean to Graffenreid to Guston. Guston hard with the right hand, misses. Rebound back to him. He'll put it up and score it.
Good job sticking with it.
So Guston with 6 points. And the Dons lead at 30. To the base. There's a dunk. Parker Bowman. 10 points for him. The Dons have 3 scorers in double figures. Across the top, left side. DeGraffenreid to the base. Bumped and fouled. That was an early whistle.
Yeah, he kind of knew that was coming. Tobiasen, that's a good body on a high school kid there, Alan. Looks like he's no stranger to the gym either. I mean, he looks like he could make his presence felt down there.
He doesn't look like a shrimp right next to Porter Guston.
Nope.
Guston usually makes people look tiny, but those two are battling hard. Checking into the game, Austin Thayer for the Dons. Or no, excuse me, it's Dallin Shepard in for Spanish Fork. First time in the game he has been in. Underneath, the foul.
Bowman trying to get that one up quick before anybody could get on top of it and threaten the block shot.
Jeff DeGraffenreid committing his 3rd foul, and that'll send Parker Bowman to the line. Misses a first of 2. He'll get one more. Free throw? No, missed them both. Been solid all night. Had been 8 of 10 prior to that trip. And
well, you can't say the hair was in his eyes, right?
No.
It wasn't. I mean,
ooh, cheerleaders got nervous on the Salem side. McGrath and Reed, right-hander, no, and rebound to the Skyhawks. 3 ball on the way, missed. The attempt there was by James Nelson. The ball's going to stay with Salem Hills.
Don't know. I am up in the crow's nest, so I think I've got a pretty good angle. And I think he might have missed that one, Alan.
I think so. Schofield out, Money in. Ball knocked away, turnover. Tobiasen hacked. Nothing called. Left side, Anderson to Ravels.
You know me, Alan. I do have years of officiating acumen under my belt that are legendary in no one's eyes.
Yeah, as do I. Junior Jazz, a lot of people tend to forget. 3 ball long. Over the back is Bean DeGraff and Reed over Shepard. The Dons will have it. That's 4 for Bean DeGraff and Reed. So Jeff DeGraff and Reed with 3. Porter Gustin with 3. Bean DeGraff and Reed now with 4. Some foul trouble for Salem Hills.
Well, you can see by the lineup they have in here.
Yeah, they've pretty much emptied a lot of their bench.
Yep.
Bowman. 12 points for Parker Bowman, and the Dons with a 55-22 lead.
Good pass.
Good pass. Fleming didn't do anything with it. Gets it to DeGraff, and Reed misses short on the 3. Parker Bowman is 6'7", running the point for Spanish Fort. Taylor Anderson to the base, looking underneath. Money. His second bucket. Just over 2 minutes to go, Mike. Salem Hills had better step on the gas pedal here.
Well, start shooting those. Maybe start shooting them sometime.
Nearly losing it. Parker Barton kicks it left side. Nielsen, Fleming, reach in foul going to be called on Jax Tobiasen of the Spanish Fort Dons. Dons will be shooting 1-1 from here on out. They actually called Shepard on that foul. 5 team fouls now against the Dons. Spanish Fort bringing in number 20, Taylor Harrison, along with a couple of starters. Tipped around, Fleming underneath. Puts it up the right hand, can't get it. Rebound Shepard, gives it up to Benson Reese. Benson angle right. Near to the timeline, back to Shepard. Trying to create a shot for Dallin. Dallin left side, holds it up. Schofield. Hunter Schofield going 1-on-1 and a reach-in foul committed by Gosser. His second. And Hunter Schofield with his trip to the free throw line. He's got 17 points. So knocking these free throws down would put him at his season average.
That is a healthy average
Yeah.
to have for a high school basketball player, Alan. That's pretty impressive. I wouldn't have guessed that that's what it is. But those are some good numbers by a high school player.
Yeah, and Don's, you have Benson Reese averaging nearly 15 a game. Ball knocked off the rim. Who's going to get it? Salem Hills. Don's fighting over who wanted to get that rebound, and Fleming ends up with it and scores for Salem Hills. Mike, Salem Hills had 7 points in the second quarter. They have 7 points here in the third quarter as well. Schofield, Reese, Benson, couple dribbles. Only underneath from Shepard to Schofield. Another reach in. They're going to call a foul against it. Looks like Gosser's going to pick that up again.
Schofield at the line.
Trying to get there quick on the double. Get the ball out of Bowman's hands, but he is once again, Schofield's hands. He's at the line once again. Been there all night, hasn't he?
He has. That free throw there gives him 20. Second for Hunter. No. Rebound, Salem Hills. So 20 points for Schofield, 60-24 the lead for the Dons. Fleming underneath, right hand, no, rebound, Schofield. Benson reached across the timeline, dribbling hard. They're going to say he carried off his hip. Official caught him. Good eyes there. I encourage you to go to the car, guys, for your next automobile purchase. 872 North Main in Spanish Fort. 798-400-77. You can visit them online at thecarguysut.net. Gosler travels.
Mayor Randy Brailsford there at the Car Guys. You can bet a night like this he's supporting both the high school that's in the town where he does business and the high school that he is the mayor of.
Yeah. Three ball good. Dallin Shepard. His first bucket.
That was deep, and like he knew it was going in, he shot it. Good shot.
Three ball, no good. That'll end the third quarter. Oh, they better call a foul, and they will. The official right there on it. Do you call a foul, or do you give him a tee, or what do you do?
Yeah,
that was pretty brutal, Mike.
It looked like he was going for too much of the ball there.
Official heading over to the score table. They are going to hit number 3, Parker Barton, with the foul. And Taylor Harrison's going to the line to attempt a couple.
Now watch this replay, Alan. The official makes a move after the Don player goes down, and
yeah.
You can see this is kind of the domino effect. Whoop, whoop,
Whoop,
and
whoop.
whoop.
Oh, there we go. So Harrison unable to convert on the free throws. The Spanish Fort with a fairly decent lead, 63-24, 39 points. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment here on Spanish Fort 17. Back in action already. Had a short break because of the free throws and the whistle and a foul against Spanish Fork. Is who is it on the floor? Is not at all satisfied. Is that
Harrison?
Yeah, Harrison, yeah.
You've got
take just a second here, the coaches and trainers out.
maybe the left side of his face or something.
He's talking, and it's not a. Shouldn't be too bad, but yeah, clocked pretty good there. For whatever reason, the last couple of possessions here, Mike, not been
in the eye.
He's got poked in the eye there. But they have not. The last couple of possessions for Taylor Harrison have not been satisfactory ones by any means. He was the one tackled at the end of the third quarter in front of the Dons bench.
Gets the forearm shiver right at the end of the quarter, and then the very next play gets.
He might want to just go ahead and say, you know, Coach, I'm good tonight. I can use others. The Dons with this big 63-24 lead, and they will play next the Wasatch Wasps at Wasatch High School, and that's a dangerous place to play. Anybody will tell you Wasatch is awesome at home.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they represent well in no matter what sport you go up there and play. Whether you go up there and play them in basketball, you try to wrestle them, forget about it.
It's that big elevation change, Mike.
Yeah, yeah.
Taylor's coming off the floor. He's still just holding that thing like.
Yeah, you get poked in the eye, but you know, if you get issues with a scratched cornea or something like that, I mean, geez, people say that's quite a painful thing.
Yeah.
We're going to wipe it up a little bit. You
sweat right there. He laid there for a moment.
Eye fluid.
Yep. Don't say that. MVP Sports sponsors tonight's MVP of the game at 72 North Main in Spanish Fort, 798-3587. Online, MVPSportsUtah.com. Sporting goods for all seasons, Mike.
And on the intranets now you are, huh?
Yeah. Notice a website set up. We'll have everything on there that we'd like to at this point. We're still working on some things, but it's functional. Ball knocked out of bounds, should go to the Dons at will. I mean, the Salem Hills fans and parents have just seemed dejected all night long. They're not even making any complaints to officials at this point.
No, well, you know, it's pretty easy to see that a 30-plus point lead, nearly approaching the 40 mark now, is not due to any sort of calls or lack thereof. It's just a rough night for Salem, getting out of the gates slow and then staying slow.
Whistle and a foul against the Dons. Connor Anderson. Is that it for him?
He fouled out. He might be fouled out.
Fouls on number 32, Connor Anderson.
Well, I believe he's out of here, Mike. He is. A minute into the fourth quarter, and bye-bye Connor.
He's got a big body too. You know, moves it around, and sometimes that can get away from you in a high school basketball game. And
Fleming. Morris, Cameron Morris for three, misses, a rebound and a foul against Salem Hills. Oh, they're going to call it against Parker Bowman. That should send Parker Barton to the line for 1-1.
Fouls on number 34, Bowman. Barton at the line.
So 1-1 here for Parker Barton. Short rattles off. And a foul. Fleming reaches in, and Parker Bowman to the line for two.
8
See
team
a lot
fouls
of
and 10 team fouls. We might be at the line for.
I was going to say, Mike, this could end up being a long fourth quarter. Fouls result in free throws. Neither team scored yet. Now they have. Bowman with 13 in the game, well above his average. So good night for Parker Bowman. .40 lead for the Dons. Just attribute that to a flat-out rough night for the Salem Hills Skyhawks. Salem Hills getting set to bring in a whole slew of new players. Anderson, no. Ball out of bounds to the Dons.
And that's once again, Alan, I mean, you can say rough night for Salem Hills High School for sure. You bet it is. But Spanish Fork, once again, very active with their perimeter defense. And a good job not fouling a whole lot on the perimeter, but getting their hands in passing lanes, and putting it in there, making them nervous out there on the perimeter.
Now on the Shepherd.
He's 100% from downtown.
Yeah, 2-2.
And only stretching this lead for the Dons, my goodness.
43-point lead for Spanish. I remember a time when the Spanish Fort Dons played Timpview. I think it was 1997-ish, Mike.
Easy now. That probably didn't go well either.
I think it was 103 to, I believe, like 46 or something like. Literally, I think that's what it was.
I was a junior and probably got
3 seconds.
Some playing
yeah,
time.
you did. I think you did. Timeout, 30-second timeout called by Coach Roberts of the Dons. So Jesse Roberts and his team probably not feeling too bad about themselves at this point. This is the best turnout. I mean, this is by far the biggest blowout I've seen in region play this year. The way this region is built up, I mean, Salem Hills has lost a few games recently, but not by a ton of points. They lost by 3 to Provo the other night. For whatever reason, their offense tonight for Salem Hills has just been non-existent. 10 points in the first, 7 points in the second, 7 in the third.
Well, you can credit these boys for hustling, and like I said, just relentlessly getting in the passing lanes on the perimeter. But also, you got to credit the coach. Credit Coach Roberts for coming out with this game plan. Alan, how can you say this hasn't worked?
It's worked.
Where he's been able to deny the big man. I mean, Gustin is the big man that's now out of the game.
Yeah, his 5th foul. So 2 big men out of the game. One for Salem Hills, one for Spanish Fork and Connor Anderson. But Porter Gustin has by far had his 2 worst games in region play against the Dons. 12 points combined in those 2 games.
And he averages what?
He averages 20 a game.
Yeah, well, good scheme and
give the Dons credit.
Good execution to work that scheme, to not let that ball go in there as much, as it regularly does for Salem Hills, because that's the difference in this ball game. The Dons getting those turnovers out front and running and continuing to run all night.
What does this do for the Dons' confidence going forward?
Sure. Well, the Dons have come off a couple really tough, close losses. I mean, that Timpview game was a game that's kind of one of those heartbreakers,
Yeah.
And
the loss to Maple Mountain.
Maple Mountain. There, yeah, that was really hard pill to swallow. But
oh man, Dallas Shepherd was getting mugged.
No, that's a bad
call.
The
official was watching down the floor for whatever reason. Dallas Shepherd under attack. Travel.
They got away with the foul here, but I don't know that. Oh yeah, he drug that foot after, but he got
without
fouled.
some help.
Now here's a big guy.
Yeah, just a touch. Justin Christensen at about 6'12" and 4'10". Big kid. He does. He stands. What does he got? They have him at. He's got to be at least 6'9".
Yeah, he's up there.
I have him listed at 6'1" here. I don't know if I believe that. Out of bounds to the Dons, it should be. They're going to give it back to Salem. Mercy. I shouldn't say that.
We have a changeover now coming in for the Spanish Fork Dons. And the squad is getting some love as they walk off.
Garrett Hales into the game. Tanner Argyle. Braden Christensen. Who else do we have out there? Jax Tobiasen along with Taylor Harrison back out.
You know what I am, Alan? I'm a firm believer in when, especially in high school basketball, when it starts to get a little rough and a team plays you that tough perimeter defense like the Dons have tonight, you have to change a scheme in the way of now you got to start setting picks. You got to start setting picks and popping. Even in a zone read, that ball's got to go in and back out and get the zone off balance, so you can even have a weak side to play to. And that hasn't happened all night for Salem. It's kind of been just a motion perimeter game and trying to open it up. Spanish Fork, again, doing a great job of clogging those lanes and putting their hands in the way and everything else. But you got to find a way, if you're offensively that way, that you don't have the ball in the guard's hands at the perimeter for longer than just a few seconds. They either got to make a move and drive with that ball, or they got to, it's got to be out of their hands quick. And most of the time tonight, Salem Hills has just kept it too long on the outside without really much of a play, called and being executed.
Tobiasen misses a first of 2. That last foul committed by Connor Hunt. Called him Justin Christensen earlier. It's Connor Hunt. They got him in a different jersey. Both free throws missed by Tobiasen, and Salem Hills with it. Salem Hills got some work to do, Mike. They've won 2 region games, and you know they have personnel to be tough. They just it seems like nothing is really congealed for them tonight. As DeGraff and Reed, the only player in double figures for Salem Hills, he's got 13 points.
He's got a set of sideburns that would rival some biker.
That's right. No one's unable to convert on their end. Salem Hills with it. Shot up. No good. Rebound to the Dons. Out of bounds. Braden Christensen.
In Spanish Fork, you got to take away from a win like this when a lot of things go your way. You just got to try to carry that momentum, Alan. You got to carry that momentum into the next region game. That's where it's so tough, is week to week, game to game in region play. You can be up like this, and then you got to try to stay up.
Yeah, you got to, you know, and it's easy for a game like this to maybe you might get it a little deep in your head there that you're that really that good. And you let this, a game like this provide too much confidence, and that can bite you.
Yeah, it can work against you that way. You can kind of get complacent. Guys can start reading their own press a little bit. You don't want something like that happen necessarily, but what you do take into it is you say, hey, remember that game where we played tough? We got a lot of turnovers, and we were good from the stripe, and we got the ball down low, got about just anything we wanted down low. Well, let's take that into this week when we play, the T-Birds or the Wasps or whoever. You take it into the next game and just try to keep that momentum up.
Tobiason knocks the free throw down. The Dons have brought in a couple new faces, Riley Daniels and Nate Cannon. Braden Christensen just checking out for Taylor Harrison. Second of 2, good for Tobiason. Pretty nice touch for a guy that stands 6'9".
I'd say.
Well, I come in here, the gym was jam-packed. I thought, well, this is going to be one of those nights where it's just going to be a shootout. But somewhere in time, it happened somewhere in the early parts of the second quarter, somebody lit a fuse and this whole place just exploded for the Dons.
Well, that's right. And thankfully, the Salem fans, know enough people. We're 2 close-knit communities that they're not leaving any time early to get 3 miles down the road to their city limits. But they're here going to support their kids, going to support their team, and cheer to the end.
It's nice the way that High School Activities Association has set up this region once again, and the Dons have come back to 4A, and it'll be exciting. Baseball season also coming up. But, to have everybody local and close again, pretty awesome. Taylor Harrison with the bucket. 45-point lead for the Dons. Underneath, Cannon back out. Caleb DeGraff and 80 just checked in. Another steal. Here comes Lance Argyle. No, who is that? Number 1, Riley Daniels gets the and one. I'm getting all my names mixed up here. I've got too many on my sheet. But the JV for the Dons looking pretty good.
That was coast to coast, and he is playing against some of the JV players of Salem. This is probably what some of the game looked like. Did they still play him before? They play him prior to the varsity game, right?
Yep. So Daniels misses that free throw. The Dons 47-point lead. Underneath, unable to convert. It's Caleb DeGraff and 8. Here come the Dons. Dallas Shepard to Harrison. Shepard, long 3.
Tell you what, that one looked good too.
Yeah, that was from somewhere over by Saturn.
Pretty good stroke. Pretty good shooter. Comes from a basketball family. Had a brother that played for the Dons and a dad that was a knockdown shooter for the Dons back in his day.
Caleb DeGraffenried knocks down the three for Salem Hills. Yeah, I'll have 6 in the quarter. They've almost. I'm not going to make any more comments. We can discuss at the end of the game what's going on. We have a foul. A nice, soft, and easy foul. Isn't that one where the official should swallow the whistle?
Yeah.
Nate Cannon get on his first. He'll get one more. Dons with quite a score sheet here, Mike. They have, I can't even count how many have scored for Spanish Fort, just different players. Everybody getting included.
Getting a shot to come in and shoot the ball, play a little hoop. Not a bad night. Ooh, shoot it there.
Graffenried outside, kicks it over, and pushing a foul against the Dons. No shot, called it
Off the
before,
glass.
and it's against number 41, Connor Hunt.
Well, we still got a minute 18 to go, and Spanish Fork's playing the young guys that aren't just going to waste the clock here, so this might get back up to 50. But I can tell you, Alan, there's not a
dry eye
in
in Salem Hills crowd.
Well, there's just not a sport that it's good to lose by 46 in. Basketball, golf, pinochle, I don't care what it is, 46.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to swallow.
Yep.
Cannon.
Big man, good hustle.
Working hard. Fleming to Webster. Salem Hills looking for a shot. They go underneath to Cannon. He's throws it back out.
There you go. Now
Underneath to
shoot it.
him.
There you go. Good move.
Good move underneath, didn't work. Kicks it back out. 3 ball, long one for DeGraffenried, way off. Wow.
All the way down.
Shot up. No.
Good hustle by the big man, keeping it alive.
Cannon, I was hoping that he wasn't going to catch Riley Daniels on the head with that slap. It would have laid him out for a week. Oh, double foul. Got 2 options there, sir. That'll get Austin fired.
Kind of got. That's why you play this game when you're young, so your body can bend like that and still be okay. Me, that would put me in traction and a lot of ibuprofen.
1 of 2, good. 4 seconds on the clock. Both dumped by Caleb DeGraffenried. He's got 5 points, so all 3 DeGraffenrieds on the roster have scored. And that will do it. I mean, Mike, the game has finally come to a close. And Dons with a big win here over Salem Hills. That confidence has got to be booming.
Well, yeah, it is. That's going to be a pretty fun locker room after this one tonight. But you can bet on the other side of that, Salem Hills is going to be wondering what they can do to try to correct the way there. They're a lot better team than that. They definitely have the heart. They definitely have the athletes to be able to compete better than that. But Spanish Fork give a lot of credit to the Dons tonight, getting on them early and getting on them often.
Yep.
And that's what created such a gap early in the second quarter.
76-32 your final. We'll take a break and come back with a little bit of post-game analysis here on Spanish Fork 17. Well, I don't know what it is. It might be Mike Mendenhall being in the booth tonight. It caused the Stars to align. The Spanish Fork with a huge win. 44-point. I'm getting this right. 44-point win over the Salem Hills Skyhawks.
I will take the credit for it. And the Dons need a W. You call in the right guy to be in the gym. And that's,
It's Mike.
That's Mike. No, great effort. Great effort tonight by the coaching staff, by the players, by the fans.
Yeah.
Wait until that 10th point was scored to erupt and be the sixth man.
It seems like, honestly, right when the student section erupted after that 10th point, it seems almost like there was a turnover immediately by Salem Hills, and they just couldn't quit turning the ball over after that. So maybe that's your key.
Hey, that could be. They might be the player of the game tonight, but credit them for showing up, being loud. That makes a whole lot of a difference when you're playing high school athletics, is the support you can get from your school. And just a great win for the Dons tonight. Again, Alan, I guess the piece of advice, if there was any, from an old washed-up has-been like me, would be don't read the press, but take the momentum with you. You still got some tough games, obviously, but know that you can do something like this and just take that confidence with you into the next game.
MVP Sports sponsors tonight's MVP of the game. If you go visit MVP Sports at 72 North Main in Spanish Fork, 798-3587, or go online at MVPSportsUtah.com. Mike, I'm going to let you choose. You're not in here too often. Who's your player of the game?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Parker Bowman, senior, having a pretty good game. Pretty good game from the charity stripe, but also having some good post presence.
How many times did he create opportunities himself? I mean, on these fast breaks, you typically don't see Parker Bowman overly aggressive, but he made his way to the free throw line just because of what he wanted to do with the ball, and he attacked the rim and got to the line that way.
Well, that's right, and we don't want to take anything away from the defensive side that he played on as well.
Yeah.
The whole Dons crew playing tough defense tonight, and Parker was part of that too. So doing it really on both ends of the court deserves him an easy nod for MVP of the game.
Hunter Schofield finished with 20 points for the Spanish Fork Dons. Solid game for him. Right at about his season average. Benson Reese ended up with 12. But the Dons, they pulled everybody out early. Everybody got to share in the wealth a little bit here tonight. So just a huge win for the Dons. We also would like to thank the car guys for sponsoring tonight's instant replays. 872 North Main in Spanish Fork, 794-0077 is the number you can reach him. Calvin Yount and Andy Brailsford ready to make you a great deal. Or you can visit them online at thecarguysut.net. Somebody behind me wants you, Mike.
You are wanted. You are desired.
So anyway, we want to thank them and thank everybody for tuning in tonight, especially Mike Mendenhall for filling in. Some good times I had once again.
Temporary host, but we're coming back. I think the last time was a Mountain View high school rendezvous I nearly left the headset somewhere else and took off after the official who led a basket count. It was clearly 2 seconds after the buzzer had sounded.
After that game, we had to send Mike to the rehab center just for a while, just to help him get his mind back. And it's taken him, this 4 or 5 years since he last announced with us here on Spanish Fork 17 for him to recover. But well done tonight, and we're glad you're back and back mentally.
That's an official hiatus that I took there, and now I will begin another 4 or 5 year hiatus and see everybody around.
All right. Well, we want to thank you once again, Mike. And for Mike Mendenhall, I'm Alan Huff. Again, a 44-point drubbing by the Spanish Fork Dons. 76-32, the win for our Spanish Fork Dons. And once again, thanks for joining us. Until next time, so long from Spanish Fork High.